Good evening and welcome to a very, very wonderful event. And let me start by saying, happy birthday, Maricopa! We are a great big 10 years old, so what a better way to have a birthday celebration that goes into the twilight than to have a sunset ribbon cutting. Who else can do that? I'm Latricia Woods. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the city, and we are going to briskly run through this ribbon cutting because we want to get you inside before it gets too late so we can do the official dedication ceremony for the City Council chambers. So without further ado, we are going to have the City of Maricopa Police Department Honor Guard present the colors, and this is very special because this will be the very first time flags have flown from these masts. So we are very pleased, they're very excited, and so if I could have the Maricopa Police Department Honor Guard, please present the colors.
Honor Guard, police officers, firefighters, veterans, attention!
And now the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Now it's my pleasure to introduce two phenomenal individuals who will bring you the official welcome. First, you will hear from Mayor Christian Price, who has been a resident of Maricopa since 2005. He hails from Northwest Tucson, an Eagle Scout who is fluent in Spanish. He's a family man and a businessman with strong ties to the community. Following that, you will hear from City Manager Tricia Sorensen, who joined the city in July as our interim city manager, and she has hit the ground running. You may have read that she's made some very key leadership appointments and planned numerous events, like transitioning from an old building to a new building, lickety-split, and having an open house 3 days after that. So we have kept her very busy, and she has really gotten engrossed into the community and made a positive impact. So first we will have Mayor Price, followed by Tricia Sorensen.
Thank you all very much for coming out this evening. I know it's a long drive for some of you, and I'll keep this short because you're going to hear from me again inside, but I really wanted to thank you. This is a momentous occasion for the City of Maricopa. It's 10 years in the making, and today literally is our birthday. What an amazing capstone to hit the first 10 years with, and to actually open officially our grand opening of the City Hall on our birthday, and that's October 15th, 2003 when we were incorporated. So again, thank you very much for making the trip out here. We will talk extensively inside, and I think you're going to really enjoy the presentation that we have for you. It's a lot of history and where we've come from and how we've gotten to this point. But this City Hall really does speak to the fact that we've arrived, that we're here to stay, and that ultimately the symbolism that it provides for our residents, for the city government, and for our city staff really go a long way to helping the morale and helping move this city forward in ways that we've never even dreamed of before. So with that, thank you very much, and we look forward to hosting you inside shortly.
Good evening. Well, I'm glad the sun's down because I was a little worried that I was going to be blinded. I just wanted to say welcome. There's a lot of thank yous that go into this building from the city staff. First of all, I would thank all of you guys for coming out tonight. We really appreciate it. I know you took time out of your busy schedules to be here, and it's time away from your families. So we thank you for coming and joining us tonight in this very momentous occasion. Second, I want to thank current council and previous councils for having the dedication, the fortitude, the passion to make this happen. It takes a lot of hard work to get a facility like this up and running. It takes a commitment of dollars and of moving things forward when sometimes times are tough. And the staff here really appreciate it. They have really got a spring in their step now coming to this building as opposed to the trailers if you've ever been there. I also wanted to thank the staff for the work that they've done. They are a tremendous staff. You should be very proud of them. They're true professionals. Go out of their way to do a great job 100% of the time. And then finally, I just want to say the staff love this building, but what we see this building as is really your community building. It's the center of your justice. It's the center of government. It's where we do work every day, but it's where a lot of things get done in this city. And there's some great things coming in the future with this city, with our multi-gen center and our park that's going to be opening up, I think, March of next year. So anyways, thank you guys very much from the staff. We appreciate it. Thank you to previous councils, former councils, current council for everything you've done to make this happen. We appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Next, we will have a project overview from our Development Services Director and our project partners who really worked very hard to make this building what it is today. First, you will hear from Bob Goodhue, who is our Development Services Director. You might remember he was an interim director and he loved us so much he decided to stay, so we decided to keep him. And then you'll hear from Adam Brill from Abacus Project Management, Jay Silverberg from Gensler, and Bill Oakland from Oakland Construction. Bob?
Thank you. I'll leave most of the comments on construction towards the construction team. Myself, as Latricia said, I'm new to the team. I came here 10 months ago, almost seems like 10 years, but 10 months ago. And at that time, my first impression of Maricopa was a 20,000 square foot modular. And to me, it wasn't a good first impression. I mean, I'm saying we're seeing city services coming out of a modular building. When I asked staff about how they felt about conditions, they said, Bob, this is a paradise. It's a palace compared to what we had before. We had stuff built by Airstream we were working out. So that first day, they took me on a tour of the city and came to the corner of the intersection of Boland and White and Parker, and I see this structure off in the distance. And I said, what's that? And they said, oh, that's our new city hall. And I said, really? We're going from modulars to a magnificent structure like this. And at that point, I finally had to reflect. It was hard for me to appreciate where a young community has come from. I've always come from let's say, an established city. You all are in a brand new city, only 10 years old. And there's a lot of challenges in growth, development, and just overall getting the infrastructure that everybody else has appreciated for years. And so when I look at this structure, I see this is the starting of defining of Maricopa, and this is what we should be very proud of. So with that, I'll first introduce Adam Brill from Abacus Project Management, and then we'll go down the line with Jay Silverberg and Mike Oakland. So Adam.
Thanks, Bob. Wow, what a beautiful evening. It seems like not so long ago we were standing on a pile of dirt on a warm spring day with a lot of anxious anticipation about what was in store. We're honored to be here tonight. It's been a great project. From the very beginning, we understood the significance of this project. It meant a lot to the city. It was your first major municipal project. It was going to be the home of the city staff, going from the trailers that Bob mentioned. And we had to have a building that was going to speak to Maricopa's history, but then also act as a symbol for the future. and be representative of the future and the history yet to be made. And more significantly than that, I'm looking at Vice Mayor Farrell now. He said, and you have to do all this and have it delivered by the end of 2013. So, I'm happy to be here and standing before you today. It's been a great project. I think the vision of this project from the very beginning, early on in the process, people would come up to us and say, why did we pick a site this far out here? And I think the easy answer to that is this is going to become the center of Maricopa as population grows. We're already starting to see that with Banner Health Center, Central Arizona College. So the growth is coming. In addition to that, all this empty real estate that you see around here is going to, at one point, be a very vibrant mixed-use development. So you've got that to look forward to. I think, what makes a great project? I asked myself that as I was driving down here today. I think it has to be a collaboration. You have to have a good project team, and it has to be a collaboration between that project team, the city or the client, and all the project stakeholders. And I think from the very beginning, from the first programming, the first sketches that Jay put down on a piece of paper, we had that collective approach, and we were all collectively rowing toward that common goal. And I'm honored to be here today. I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize some of the project team members. Jay Silverberg with Gensler led the design team. Bill Oakland, who you'll hear from here in a little bit, was the construction manager at risk that built the project. And Rick Carr, the project manager for Abacus, who came to the project at a very critical time as we're starting construction and saw it through to a successful completion. So again, we're just honored to be here. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jay Silverberg and talk about some of the challenges that we have with the project and the design. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Adam. It's truly an honor to be here this evening. This is a very, very exciting day. We have the honor of representing Gensler tonight, but also the myriads of consultants and other folks that kind of work with us on the project. This was designed by many and built by many, and this is, to Adam's point, a testament to a tremendous collaboration for producing a project like this. This is really an important and a significant building for the city of Maricopa. This was truly conceived as the house of the people, a community building. This really was a building that was designed to really engage your community and engage the public. And so I'm going to kind of go through maybe just a few salient ideas about the project so that everyone sort of has a little bit of some framework. But we did the same thing Adam did, kind of driving out here, thinking about this project. And what really rose to the top to me was really the issue of community. This was really a project about a community vision that the community brought forth, a process that engaged the community, and then created this community building with everyone as part of that. As Adam had mentioned, there was a tremendous vision, from the city to look at this piece of land we have here. This is just the start of a large city complex. Really having the vision to think that through. Also, when we first started, we were brought on with Abacus and Oakland to look at developing design standards for the city, for all new buildings. But the forethought that you all had as a community, and particularly as elected officials and our leaders, to kind of have us begin to do that, to create efficiency, to create modularity, to kind of set the stage for the future of all new buildings, was a tremendous vision that was brought to this. The idea of interfacing technology in this new building, and kind of working with staff from a technological perspective and also sustainability, that this building would truly be a green building, would be a building that really respected the environment we're in, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Again, this was really a building that was really put together by building consensus. So I think, we had many community workshops with everyone here in the community. We made lots of presentations to the community and to staff. We had many design presentations and staff meetings, programming sessions. I just want to compliment the, really sort of the staff and sort of the officials here that, working with you all and working with city staff was just a great experience to really understand what the needs were and then work to kind of make a budget and make the time frame that we were working with. As far as a community building, this is really a building that connects to this time and this place, and really to the city of Maricopa. We tried really hard to intertwine a couple of things. One would be the history of this community, also tie in this really great aspect of the growth of the city of Maricopa as it relates to transportation, as it relates to kind of rural and agrarian kind of sites that you kind of see here that are reflected in the building. And then also tie back to the metaphor of the Maricopa well, which is a significant kind of historical basis that's here within the community. So we tried to roll all three of those into the overall feel of the design of the project. We really wanted to kind of reflect that in the building that creates a story for this community that we can be very proud of. As you kind of look at the building right now, a couple things you'll notice. One is that the building is raised up 2 feet above grade. The building is on a plinth. It was very important to take this building and to develop a project that created civic presence. The building also creates a very formal approach to the facility that gives it a very governmental or a very sort of house of the people kind of perspective. The building organizes itself, as you'll see when you go in, on 2 floors. What's significant about that is there's an atrium space in between that connects the floors together that we feel really represents the city's values of openness and accessibility. One of the kind of charges was to create a building that when the community walks in, they feel embraced, they feel welcome. So the idea was to kind of create that with the architecture. You'll also see a use of natural daylight inside the building with skylights. What that does is it kind of brings daylight into the space, makes it feel open. It also reduces our energy consumption and reduces our energy costs, which is really important to everybody. From a material perspective, I'd like to just point out a few things. We tried really hard to really use natural and authentic materials. You'll see stone that's here that begins to represent ideas of the Maricopa well, and you'll see kind of in the atrium lobby that in the center of the lobby there's a series of stones that are there that represent the well. You'll kind of see then concentric rings that basically provides the plan for the building once you begin to walk in, and that the council chamber really becomes a metaphor of that well, being a stone element that kind of rises up from the ground. You'll also see there's a very nice combination of kind of steel and metal and glass that bring a contemporary feel to it. So the idea to mix the history with the contemporary sort of feel so that we're reflective of the past, the present, and the future. So with that, I'd just like to say again that we feel this is really a building of the people, for your community. We really feel that's created a civic, not only building, but a place. And I think that was one of the things we tried very hard to do, was to create a place for the city of Maricopa. And our firm and our team is very honored to have played a small role in this, and we appreciate that opportunity, and I would just like to say thank you. And now Bill Oakland with Oakland Construction.
Well, thank you for having me tonight. I'm glad Adam mentioned that we did finish a couple months ahead of schedule on this, so hopefully you'll forgive us for the flagpole snafu. But you know, when Abacus and Gensler, you know, they were on the team ahead of us, and when the city selected us to join them, we were really excited. This was a big deal for us to be part of a community to help. You know, this is a pretty exciting time with the new health center, Banner Health Center, the new rec center being built, and so the Central Arizona College work over there. We were just really happy to be a small part of it. But when they did bring us on board, you know, we worked with a lot of people, like Jay said, within the city and the design team. But there was a common theme, and that was fiscal responsibility. And when we were selected, we started pulling out comparables from what other cities had spent on their city halls. And we said, okay, well, why don't we kind of use these unit costs as a benchmark? And we were quickly reminded that, hey, we're shooting here to deliver a very high quality building, but at a much lower cost. And you know, we worked with several city people all the way through the project, but that theme remained the same. And that direction, we think, was great because we did achieve a much lower cost than is usually spent on a city hall. But if you look at this building, I think you'll all agree that it's beautiful. We really think it turned out great. We're very proud to be even a small part of it. So I think I just would wrap up by just thanking everybody for the opportunity to be part of this, and we really hope you enjoy the building. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I can have our front row kind of get in position behind the ribbon, please. We will cut some fabric here shortly. And while they're doing that, a couple of instructions for the phase 2 of our celebration tonight. When you go inside, we have a nice reception for you with music from the Maricopa Music Circle, so we hope you enjoy that. And then about 10 minutes till 7, we will begin opening the doors to the City Council chambers for the dedication. And we have some reserved seating for special guests, and those are marked. And then if anything's not marked, please feel free to have at it. And we'll begin that shortly after 7 once we get everything settled. So we're going to cut some ribbon and then let you have some refreshments and some beautiful music from the Maricopa Music Circle. And with that, big shiny pair of scissors here. And because this is the 10th anniversary, we're not going to count backwards from 10 to 1. We're going to count forward.